Viewer discretion is advised. BOOPS is filmed with the women, men, and everything in between of the Alliance Militia for low-level immortals. All rogues are assumed innocent until proven stabby.
Matthias, he has me on rogue booping duty tonight. Not surprised, really. I mean, the Pook really laid into him earlier tonight when he recalled me to active duty, when I clearly told him I was taking a leave of absence. Oh well, what are you gonna do? So far things seem pretty quiet in Stormwind. No ganking activity reported, so it seems like the stealthies are behaving themselves tonight. We got reports that there's a ruckus happening down in the park, so the Pook is heading over there now just to check things out. Yeah, I can confirm. We have some doggos throwing a dance party in the park. It's hella lit, so the Pook is gonna stay and check things out. Party on, doggos! Reports that a long-leggedy is in the lamb acting all emo. It's probably an elf. They're a very, very emo people. The Pook is gonna drop by and see what's up. Yeah, we got an emo of the long-leggedy variety here. Can confirm. They're emo as fuck and shredding on a harp. And as I thought, it's an elf. Yeah, Draenei, they can be pretty emo at times, but 9 times out of 10, your average emo is elfin. If it's Screamo, then you know it's gonna be a demon hunter. It's just gonna be a demon hunter. I figure I'm gonna watch the show, and then afterwards, I'll ask them if they prefer the 9-inch nails or the Johnny Cash version of her. Come on, get kissy with each other. Get kissy! Oh shit, they heard me. Flee from the awkward! Yeah, we have some reports of some possible lesbian activity happening near the chapel. The Pook is on the way there to see if it's hot or not. Yeah, not 100% sure if we have any lesbianic activity, but the Pook can verify it's pretty hot nonetheless. We have a report that there's some suspicious-looking people burying a body down by the pumpkin farm. The Pook is gonna go there and check things out. Yeah, look, guys, when you pick up that body to dump it in the hole, make sure you lift with your knees and not your back. And don't forget to check the pockets. Sometimes dead guys have really cool stuff, and it's not like they're gonna need it. I like being helpful. Yeah, so the Pook's gonna go patrol the cathedral district. There's usually some sort of long-leggedy drama happening down there. I mean, if it's not a ganking, then sometimes you get priests and paladins getting into a piety pissing contest. It's pretty standard. Hey, long-leggedies, your mounts are looking pretty badass when the inky black kicks in. You got this whole solid, dark and mysterious bad bitches vibe going on. It's a pretty bold look that looks pretty cool with the cathedral in the background. You're giving off some big Meatloaf album cover vibes here. We have a a report of a long-leggedy standing on a railing on a bridge in the canals. It's a pretty common sight to see long-leggedies standing on railings around Stormwind. It's really kind of their thing. In any case, the Pook is going to go do a wellness check just to make sure that everything's okay. Hey, look, I know it's pretty common for you long-leggedies to stand on the railings in the city, but normally when they stand on the railings, they do it on the railings that are overlooking the park. So, when I get reports that there's a long-leggedy standing on the railings on the bridge, I like to come down and make sure everything's okay. Because if you're thinking maybe your problems could be solved by jumping, well, this bridge isn't very high, so it's not going to really do any damage. And the canal's not that deep. I mean, yeah, sure, it's deep to a normal leggedy like me, but to a long leggedy like you, that thing's going to barely be up to your chest. And I know you might have heard some rumors of a giant crocodile swimming in the canals, but I've only ever seen some crabs. Hey, there's a guy at the trading post who buys them sometimes, so, if you're looking to get crabs. Anyways, if you're wanting to do some jumping that'll cause some serious damage, you should go to the ledges that overlook the harbor. I mean, you can do some serious damage jumping from there. Believe me, I know a guy who sells weed near there, and more than once I've accidentally walked off the ledge there while fucked up on the inky black. Yeah, that's where you should go to jump if you're looking to do yourself some harm. Not that you should be looking to do yourself any harm. I'm sure if you stopped and looked at it, you've got a lot of good things going on in your life. I mean, if the Pook is going to be honest with you, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, you're pretty hot. I mean, you've got that whole fragile, innocent, elfin nature boy thing going on, which has a certain appeal. Like, I know you're one of those dragon elf boys and not a regular elf boy, but that's not a problem. The dragon elf boys, they're still pretty hot. I mean, some people might even argue that the dragon elf boys are hotter than the regular elf boys. And I can tell by your outfit that you got a nice butt. You got a nice butt. Not that I mean to be creeping on your ass or anything, but look. When you're a normal leggedy living in a long leggedy world, nature gives you a natural perspective on viewing people's butts. And your butt, it looks pretty nice. Like I have to mentally fight the urge right now to climb up your leg and bite your butt. I have to fight it. I have to fight it. Like I wouldn't fight it too hard. Like I wouldn't break the skin or anything. The Pook's not a psychopath or anything. But it looks like a juicy apple. And the Pook is totally tempted to just climb up your shapely little elf boy legs and give it a bit of a nibble is all. Which I won't do. I won't do that. I won't, because HR made me watch a video about why that would be the wrong thing to do. It would be very inappropriate response. So the Pook's not going to do that. Not going to do it. But I'm just saying, hey, why would you want to jump when you've still got so much life left to live? I bet you even haven't had a gnome climb up your leg and give your bum a little nibble. So, why jump before you've had that experience is all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm not your boss, so, you do you. I'm just laying the options out there is all. The Pook is just laying out the options. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there's a report of a big demon creature causing problems in the park. That sounds like something the Pook should probably check out. Dude, come on! You know if your mounts or pets drop a duke in the park, you gotta pick it up. I mean, seriously, look at the size of that beast you're riding. You can't have it dropping Pook-sized mounts into public places. So I don't care if you scoop it up yourself or pay a mage to teleport it away, or I don't know, even get a warlock to summon the turd. I'm sure there are warlocks that would, but they'd probably love to get their hands on a great big giant demon coil. Warlocks are into some really weird shit. I think my boss might be a warlock. My civilian boss, not my militia CO. Matthias may do his best to make my life hell, but I don't really think he's into demon shit. My civilian boss is a goblin. He has a few demons working for him, but he says it's strictly a business thing. But you know, if I found out that he was a warlock, I don't think I'd really be that shocked. He's a real asshole. Yeah, it's a pretty slow night tonight in Stormwind. I haven't run into any stealthies on my rounds. So I think I'm going to head over to the Blue Recluse and see what's happening there. Despite what you may have heard, I've never seen them give out free drinks over there. Yeah, it's pretty quiet over here. I did a sweep and found no stealthies, just a couple of long-leggedies sharing a table. I wonder if they're on a date. I wonder what they're talking about. The guy is probably saying, I'm so glad you agreed to meet me for drinks. I've been wanting to go out with you for some time now. And then the girl's like, well, I'm really glad you finally asked me out. I've always thought we have a lot in common. And he's like, really? Me too. What sort of things do you think we have in common? And she's like, have you ever had a gnome crawl up your leg and give your bum a bite? And he's like, oh my God, yes, I totally had a gnome crawl up my leg and give my bum a nibble. How did you know? And she's like, well, we're elves. Everyone kind of wants to crawl up our legs and give our bums a bite. And he's like, look, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. But if we were to go back to my place, would you, I don't know, I'm just throwing this out there, but, would you like to bite my bum? And she's like, oh, yeah, I'd totally like to go back to your place and give your bum a nibble, but I wouldn't bite hard enough to break the skin. And he's like, oh, yeah, no, I know you're not a psychopath or anything. And she's like, yeah, I am totally not a psychopath. At the most, I might bite it hard enough to leave a little mark. And he's like, you know, I think I might actually enjoy that. And she's like, hey, me too, elf boy, me too. The Pook is so glad their date is going well. Oh, we got a report that there's some kids hanging out with some creepy grown-ups in the Mage District, and since I'm already here, I thought I'd go check it out. Yeah, it turns out it's just wizard school teaching some wizard bullshit. Wizards, am I right? Don't get the Pook started on wizards. Oh, what can you do? We live in a world that is overflowing with magic bullshit. And wizards are responsible for, like, at least 40% of it. At least 40% of it. Maybe as high as 60. We're getting reports of an orgy taking place in the basement of the Slaughtered Lamb. The Pook is heading over there now to investigate. Look, all I'm saying is if you're going to have an orgy, the Pook isn't really doing anything better right now. I mean, Matthias does have me on rogue booping duty, but it's been a really slow night. Really slow. The Pook hasn't found a single stealthy all night. So, you know, if an orgy is on the menu, hey, you know, when in Rome. And the Pook has done stuff. I mean, I'm not proud, but the Pook, I've done things. Orgy things. And gnomes are very elastic. So, you know, if everyone is a little shy about being the first to take their clothes off, well, why don't we just go around the room and introduce ourselves? Anyone want to start? Anyone? Go ahead, just jump in. Anyone? Okay, you know what? I'll start. My name is Pookamhura, and I'm an engineer with experience in pegging. Okay, who's next? Yeah, it turns out they weren't having an orgy. They were just doing warlock stuff. So I headed over to the canals next, and hey, I ran into a fellow gnome there and stopped to chat. There was this long-leggedy dragon elf boy standing just over there on the railing of the bridge earlier tonight. I checked in on him just to make sure, you know, he was doing fine, and I let him know that crawling up his leg and giving his bum a little bite was on the table, if he was interested. You know, give him something to live for if he was feeling like doing something a little drastic. Hey, speaking of sexy elf boys, I should go over to the bookstore and check in with Dallas and see if he sold any copies of my latest doujinshi, Princess Ara and the Docile Dragon Elf Boy. You're welcome to come along if you want. Are you shitting me, Dallas? Are you shitting me? You haven't sold a single doujinshi the entire time I was away. The entire time! I can't believe this, Dallas. The Pook cannot believe this. While I was on the speed barge, I met Dongle Gearstrip. Yeah, the Dongle Gearstrip. The creator of Dank Gearfister series. And you know what? You know what he said to the Pook, Dallas? Do you want me to know what he said to the Pook? I'll tell you what he said to the Pook. He said my Princess Ara series was the inspiration for his work. I'm his inspiration, Dallas. And you can't sell one copy of the Pook's work. I don't know what to do, Dallas. I don't know what to do. Do you want me to do a publicity stunt, Dallas? How about I jump off this railing and splatter myself all over the bookstore floor? Do you think that would drum up some attention, Dallas? Do you? Is that what it would take to sell a book, Dallas? Is that what it would take? Do you think that is the kind of promotional stunt that would sell a book, Dallas? Do you? In fact, Trixie, get up here and join me. We'll both jump. And maybe then, we'll finally get the long-leggedies to pay a little attention to the cultural contribution of gnomes. Because the old gods know that Dallas sure as hell isn't doing a good job drumming up interest in the Pook's doujinshis. You know what? I'm pretty much immortal, so there's no point in me jumping. That doesn't really send a message. But Trixie, she'll do it, Dallas. She'll totally jump and splatter herself all over the floor of the bookstore, Dallas, because she has taste, Dallas. Gnomes know quality art when they see it. So what's it going to be, Dallas? What's it going to be? Are you going to put in a little effort into promoting the Pook's works? Or is Trixie going to have to make a bold statement all over your floor? The ball's in your court, Dallas. The ball is in your fucking court. Yeah, I got a report of a disturbance in the park, so the Pook left Dallas and Trixie to work things out, and I went over to the park to investigate. It turns out there was a party going on. It was pretty lit, so the Pook hung out for a while to get down. It was fun. While I was in the park, I got a report that there was a guy standing under a star looking all dark and mysterious. So I had to bail on the party to go see the man. Look, all I'm saying is that being all dark and mysterious and hanging out under a star, well, that's just going to cause all sorts of troubles. I mean, but conspiracy theories are going to pop up like crazy. And we're pretty close to the Cathedral District. And there's some people there who just lose their minds over mysterious people standing around being all dark and broody under a star. They go completely nuts for stuff like that. And then the next thing you know, someone is calling you the chosen one. And then there's a cult. And when you get cults, you just get a lot of nonsense happening. So, it is your right to stand under a star looking all dark and mysterious if you want to. But, you should be aware. You should be aware that there are consequences. That's all the Pook is telling you. You should be aware there are consequences. And you seem like a pretty nice long-leggedy, and it would be a shame if you got messed up in some crazy cult is all. But, you do you. Yeah, we got word of somebody doing something with a hoe in the Cathedral District. The Pook is on the way to check things out. Look, all I'm saying is if you're doing stuff with hoes, maybe take it to Goldshire. Or don't. I don't really care. The Pook's not your mum or anything. Enjoy your hoes wherever as far as the Pook is concerned. I'm just saying, some of the people in the Cathedral District get all weird on the subject of hoes and hoe enthusiasts. Live and let live, the Pook says, but you know what some people are like. Anyway, I'll leave you to your hoe endeavors. Yeah, word just came in that there's a wild bear near the tailor shop on the canal, and the Pook should go check it out. Hey, I tell ya, I'm pretty glad that the Pook came to check out the report, because that right there is one damn good-looking bear. And his mount isn't half bad either. So we just got a report in that there's a bunch of goths hanging out in the graveyard looking all badass, so, the Pook is going to head over there now and check things out. Wow, Wow, you guys are totally nailing the hot goths chilling in a graveyard vibe. Yeah, I mean, you look like a bunch of badasses. Keep up the good work. Hey, I am not that keen on graveyards myself. I mean, I never really saw the need to have a grave left behind after I die. I mean, it's not like I'm ever going to visit it or anything. It just seems like a waste of real estate if you ask me. But then you see some hot goths hanging out in the graveyard looking like a bunch of bad bitches and you think, maybe I could go for having a gravestone. If it was going to be like a really badass looking gravestone that would attract the big titty goth girls, and the small titty goth girls, and those fragile little goth elf boys that kind of look like small titty goth girls, and those lanky long-leggedy goths who are surprisingly ripped when they take their trench coats off. I mean, I might come visit my grave if I knew that there were some badass goths hanging out there looking all hot and sexy and getting kissy with each other. Yeah, that would be pretty swell, come to think of it. Like maybe have my graveyard designed so that, if they wanted to, they could, totally do it on my grave. Yeah, that would be pretty hot, I think. Anyway, enjoy your graveyard lurking. Yeah, we're back at the Cathedral District. There's a report that things got out of hand really quickly. Yeah, apparently things did get out of hand really quickly, but damned if the Pook can figure out what it was. Somebody called the guards, so it sounds like a buckethead problem and not a Pook problem. Good luck with that, everybody. I'll leave you long-leggedies to your nonsense. Just don't go around biting anyone. Hey! What did the Pook tell you? What did the Pook tell you about the biting? So we got a report coming in from near the chapel that there's long-leggedies who got herself locked in a box with her head sticking out of it. I'm in the neighborhood, so I'll go check it out. Yep, you certainly got yourself locked in a weird box. I've seen this sort of thing down at Goldshire. It actually inspired one of my doujinshis. Princess Ara and the Free Use Femboy. It's about a silly elf boy who gets himself locked up in one of those boxes. You can totally buy a copy of it down at the bookstore. Talk to Dallas. He's my literary agent. He can sell you any of my Princess Ara doujins. There's Princess Ara and the Many Dongs of Druids. There's Princess Ara and the Cult of the Hanky Panky Spankies. Princess Ara and the Vibrating Void Lords. I mean, I pretty much have a Princess Ara book for whatever turns you on. So yeah, if being locked in a box with your head sticking out is what you're into, go check out my selection of doujins. So, apparently there's a ghost, or a horse, or a ghost horse in the Mage District. That's getting a lot of people upset. The Pook is heading over there now to check out what's going on. Wow, that is an awesome-looking ghost horse you got there. I mean, I can tell you both know your horses pretty well. I mean, you're totally giving off that strong horse girl vibe, if you know what I mean. I mean, I have a horse too. I own a big gay horse. I mean, I don't own a big gay horse. Nobody can own a big gay horse. Big gay horses are wild and magnificent creatures, and you are very fortunate if one befriends you. And the Pook was very fortunate. So yeah, I have a big gay horse and he comes whenever I call him. But your ghost horse? He's pretty sweet too, pretty sweet. And he'll look great during spooky season. Hallows Eve? Hallows Eve is when the vectors for goth girls and horse girls intersect. Because on Hallows Eve, horse girls usually like to get a little bit witchy. They put away the beige and they embrace their inner witchiness. It's kind of nice that there's a holiday that brings goth girls and horse girls together. Hey, speaking of which, if you're ever in the bookstore near the trading post, Princess Ara and the Goth Horse Girls, I just saying, check it out. It's one of my better works. Hey, look at you. You're like the second sexy dragon elf boy I've run into in the canals tonight. With the white hair and the legs you just want to climb up so that you can give their tushy a little nibble. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's fate. It could be fate. Yeah, fate delivers the package and the Pook just signs for it. I thought we were getting along.